Hi everyone, Jared here. Time for the Sunday night video. Hopefully you guys all had a great weekend and are ready to come back to the markets again. And as well, hopefully everyone got the email about the new trading schedule we'll have this coming week. I'm pretty excited to just really kind of match things up so that we can tackle both UK and US sessions on a daily basis this week. I think it'll be super effective, and I see some good pips coming our direction. Quick little look at everything. The markets are still wild. They're all over the place. We saw that the Dow ended up closing just a tiny bit in the negative on Friday. Markets are up and down in huge amounts every day this last week, and we could see the very same thing coming this week. So we're going to talk about how we can deal with that and kind of some trading opportunities we'll have from there, coming from there. As you can see, we have a lot of news coming out this week as well. Tons of news actually. Monday we have Australian interest rate. That's going to be probably a big mover. They're expected to drop the interest rate a quarter point, and Australia has been known to surprise as well, so this could be a big mover. Monday morning could be decent as well for the US with the ISM non-manufacturing PMI and so on. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you can see tons and tons of announcements. We have interest rate announcements coming out for quite a few for Canada, New Zealand. I think we have Euro and the UK in there as well. So we should see quite a bit of activity. And following up on Friday, we've got trade balance and just all kinds of stuff. So lots of news, lots of activity coming up there. A quick little look here. We've got the euro, which is kind of all over the place right now. The euro's had this big double bottom. We talked about this, and what we're trying to figure out is where this is going to be headed next. And we see that as the euro double bottomed, it ran down and it kind of just retraced up a little bit into kind of this 23.38 area, and then it's just kind of pulling back. So it's bounced from that little double top area and continued to kind of really just hop around and consolidate in this general spot. So we're going to look at what our opportunities are going to be on this. Very strong double top right here, about 135.30, and that's going to be an interesting level to deal with. That's a 4-hour gap. That's a lot of kind of strong levels of resistance. But we've also got this nice ascending trend line that's working its way in here as well. And going back to this daily chart for just a second, the euro still has a very, very good chance. Remember, we've talked about the fact that if a market breaks the 23, it's very super likely to make it into the 38. Now, unless we drew our trend or our fib lines incorrectly here, which I don't think we did, then this still has got a very, very good chance to make it up here into about 136.00, right around there. And I think that's a very, very real possibility. We see that the euro has made a big dip down here. We saw those non-farm numbers, and then it's kind of just working its way back up. I'm still looking at Friday low, which is about 133.60, and a break of that 133.60 should open this up to some big downside. But at the same time, our trend line right here could give us some nice entries, and I think if we get below this little kind of immediate consolidation of about 133.90, that could be a good selling opportunity to take it down into that 133.60 and beyond. As it stands, if it continues to run up from here, I probably will be careful on any buy entries because this is kind of in that little short-term retracement mode. If you do look for some buy entries, make sure you've got your stop down here somewhere in this 30 to 40 pip range, and that you're looking to kind of trade it up into this channel, into these highs again. You can see that very strong double top right there, which would tell me that this is probably ready for a bigger breakout and a bigger continuation down with a break of 133.90 and 133.60. So keep your eyes on that. We'll see where everything goes from there, but those are going to be the sell opportunities I'm going to look for. As far as buy opportunities, we'll see where that goes as we get into the UK session tonight. Looking at the pound dollar, I just marked our typical Friday lows here. We saw that the pound dollar took a pretty big dive as well with the non-farm payroll numbers on Friday. Dropped down pretty good, and it started to consolidate and kind of work its way back up, and it made it down into about 55.75, and it's bouncing there. So I'm looking for that 55.75 to break for a sell opportunity. I think that'll be a good sell opportunity. Otherwise, this could continue to bounce. There's not a whole lot of reason for us to believe that it's going to run back up a bunch, but it could. We had the same kind of thing on this pound dollar here, where we had some big kind of double bottom action here in the last several days, and it ran up, and you'll see that the pound dollar retraced just about perfectly to the 50, excuse me, percent fib level right there. Ran just right up to that, tested it, and it's right back down again. So what I would probably lean towards on this pound dollar is that this 4-hour crossover is going to hold and that this pair will continue down into the lows of this 154.20. There's still some gaps that need to be filled from last week on both euro and pound pairs. And so I think we could get some of that happening with the break of this 155.75. You can see the market's only about 25 pips above that. Let it kind of run up. Let this pound dollar just run up, do its thing, hop around, consolidate, but look for a break of 155.75, and that should drag this pair at least 50 to 75 pips down and give us a nice little profit potential. Euro yen kind of hopping up this trend line. Same kind of thing as the euro dollar. Made a big dive here with non-farm numbers. Bounced on this 1-hour gap and on this kind of trend line that we've seen for the last several days. And it's running right back up again. So I don't know where the top of this euro yen is. This thing's getting kind of tricky. It's so far the important thing is though is that this 104.20.30 area, we talked about this quite a bit last week. This seems to be holding now. The euro yen broke above it a few times and broke above it again. And now it's been able to hold above it, and it's run down and used that once very strong resistance as a support now, and it's bouncing up and continuing up. So it looks like our euro yen will probably be able to continue up. It looks like it's really kind of coiling to bounce up into these higher areas. So before we get to a break of this 150 or 105.30, it's going to be a little tough to find that exact entry, and this will be a good time to watch for some consolidating trend lines. You can see that we have a little bit of a kind of a double top on the short term happening here, and that could also open the door to some higher movement, but it's going to be a little tricky finding a good entry on that one. But it looks like that 104.65.70 might be an interesting area to start trading this higher. Safe bet is always wait for a 1-hour crossover and look to trade it up into this 105.30. I don't think we'll have too much trouble getting there. Pound yen, same thing. Big break on this trend line right here. Came right down to this 1-hour gap bouncing and looks like it's headed back up as well. So I'm still looking for the pound yen. If it breaks about 121.40, which it's again only about 25 pips away from, that should be a nice area to take this pair down. 121.40. You can see on the trend line here, this is run up to that just above the 38, right between the 38 and the 50, and it's consolidated there. So this one looks like it's setting up pretty well for a continuation down. And I think we're just seeing a little bit of retracement right now, kind of some bounce, but look for a break of 121.40 and this pound yen should be good to go on the lower end. So we're going to watch that. Aussie dollars in a pretty tight channel as of the last couple of days. Very strong double top here, 103.20. A little bit of a lower channel wall here, about 101.95, 90, somewhere in that area. I'll be looking for a break of 101.95 to sell the Aussie dollar. I think if it breaks below that, that should be a nice selling opportunity. Before getting into a buy, this one's a little bit tough. It looks like we're starting to work on a 1-hour crossover, so that could give us a nice continuation up, but that double top makes me think that this pair is going to continue lower. But you see that we have a little bit of a gap there and a little bit of a 15-minute crossover and a 1-hour crossover working its way into the movement here. So look for that, and let's try to trade this up into the 103.00 area, and then look for it to probably continue bounce and continue back down. We'll see how that one goes as the day and night continue on. Gold is also channeling very well. If we see gold break this 1755 or 1735 area, this could be a nice breakout and give us a little bit more of a clear direction on some of these other pairs. So there's some very nice setups going on there. Quick look, pound Swiss franc is a mess. Dollar Swiss franc, very choppy. All these other pairs are just really super choppy right now, which is why I don't even mention them most of the time. But I think we've got some pretty good setups on this euro dollar and pound dollar, and so let's keep our eye on those. Those should keep us plenty busy going today and tomorrow, and we'll take it from there, and I'll have some extra information posted in the chat. Best of luck, everyone, and we'll see you there.